You followed all the rules. You were sold the American dream. You're told that hard work was supposed to create stability. Instead, people feel broke now. They're anxious like never before, and they're exhausted. So what changed? What changed was the rules behind the scene. So look, I've got some answers for you, and if you stick with me to the end of this video, I'm going to give them to you as a solution to all of this, which seems quite hopeless to a lot of people. Housing prices exploded. See, I was in business. I had $1 million real estate company, and twice on me in my investments, in my fixing up and selling houses, they manufactured and faked. They created, just like all of the recessions, just like all of the depressions, they were manufactured. So what's happening now is, typically with men and families, is the psychological trap that goes with this. Is people are internalizing their failure because you have the social media showing, all of these like, I made $1 million doing this last month, and all the fake success stories and things that are going on, which is manufactured. It's not real. The comparison culture now of social media, which that's what it was designed for, so that with the whole Kardashian family thing, it started a whole trend. Remember that whole thing where people were taking selfie pics in the bathroom, and selfie pics were this huge thing? That was manufactured as well. So people would all want to be celebrities. That's what social media was designed for. The whole fake culture, that was manufactured too. Fake success signaling, and the idea that if I'm struggling through life, I must be failing. This was done on purpose to give you the idea that it's you're the one that has this big problem. And so they created for us a distraction system. So instead of just calling someone on the phone and talking to them, remember those days? At best, if you're really reaching out, you'll find yourself text messaging people. But this was done on purpose. And what have they done with all of this to keep us out of recognizing more as they desperately tried to keep control of this? Well, they manufactured these distraction systems, these endless entertainment, Netflix, where people binge watch these shows. Now they've gone so far as, they have these shorts that play, or these things that play on Facebook, these TikTok type of reels where one after another, once you click on one and it learns you like a type of thing, then it starts to endlessly bombard you, especially if it's something to do with sex or something to do with girls in bikinis or conspiracy stuff or any dramatic fights, whatever it might be. They have an algorithm that's tracking you, that reaches deep into your psychology in order to keep you distracted and to keep you in the same mind frame, but never providing for you a solution to fix it. Only the drama that keeps you feeling hopeless in all of this. They have you doom scrolling through things to where now they say the average person's attention span is less than a goldfish. Think about that idea, what the juice boxes have done to you. Have they done to your children? An attention span less than a goldfish? You used to watch the old television shows. I remember when I was a kid, we'd watch these television shows, and commercials would come on at a very long pace in between because people would have gotten annoyed. And the cuts between scenes, like let's say somebody was having a conversation. Well, they could have a long conversation sitting at a table or a dialogue about something. Now, every 3 to 5 seconds, they have to clip, and switch back and forth just to keep your brain like this, entertained. That's awful what they have done to the public. I want you to think about that. That's psychological warfare, to where people are losing their ability to even think. The doom scroll, the consumerism, where nonstop buying, trying to fulfill something and still feeling empty. They began that a long time ago. And of course, who owned these major marketing? I was a marketing and advertising major, and I learned a long time ago, because of my Christian upbringing and my ability to investigate things, that the modern day marketing and advertising is nothing more than the old world witchcraft. Like it or not, the psychology behind it all comes out of this Babylonian black Kabbalistic magic from the juice boxes they employed to manipulating people's psyche, from Edward Bernays, right, who was Sigmund Freud's nephew. And Sigmund Freud, he was a juice box too. and they formulated this whole system of psychology to help dismiss all of the evil that was going on, the escapism, to go back and relive your childhood or the traumatic event thing. None of that helps you escape the problems. That was created on purpose, guys. All so deep, it all runs into this. And we're tired of it. You're tired. I'm tired of it. We got sold a lie. And it's time we start thinking about our exit plan from the lie, because we're sick of the political information, the left-right paradigm. You know, there was a slogan in America that was been around forever: united we stand, divided we fall. Well, who wants us divided? Our enemy. Who's our enemy living amongst us? Well, those who want all of our money and our resources and our military to go fight for a foreign country. That they care more about this foreign country, including congressmen who go over and smooch a wall. I want you to think about it. They go to a foreign country and smooch a wall to a God that isn't the Christian God, because the Christian God is whom Jesus came in the name of, who was God. If you know the Father, you know Jesus. The God of the wall is not the God of the Bible, because their God doesn't believe in Jesus, believes he's burning in hell. Like it or not, our congressmen are being bought off, compromised, going over and smooching the wall, indoctrinated, paid in order to get elected. They get paid millions and millions of dollars towards their campaigns so that they become a slave. And I know you are sick of it now. You want your representative to represent you, not a foreign nation, and especially not food companies that are poisoning you, corporate manufacturers of baby foods with 1,100 to 11,000 times the amount of aluminum and toxic in baby formula. You're sick of this. We're sick of it all. But the only way to fix it is the solutions that we're trying to provide by manufacturing and thinking and becoming a new person, to think differently, to walk away from their crap. So they've been trying to push on us doom, fear, this AI system taking over everything. AI is awful. Let me tell you something. AI is the worst. If you try to use AI to answer any real questions about business, it won't tell you. Try using AI to invent something. It's not going to help you. Try using AI to do anything. That you would invent an engine, right, that would help save gas or protect the environment. If it goes against anything in the corporate structure, AI will become your enemy. It'll form a dossier on you, and it will do the opposite of helping. Who has used AI that you can think of, since it's this magnificent tool? Who's used it to create some magnificent new invention? I don't know of anybody. So we're having personal realizations now about running businesses and having to apply for licenses. Who are you giving the license to? I got a real estate license. I've got several licenses, but I had a real estate license. And the courses and the information and the testing, what a joke. Have you ever become a real estate agent? You don't learn anything about being a real estate agent. The only thing that was beat into our head was fair housing, making sure immigrants and what they call minorities, I mean, to the point of fear-based not compliance to it. That was the main focus of getting a real estate license. The rest had nothing. You didn't even learn how to fill out a contract. Do you want to outsource your mentality to AI and different things like that, or you want to think for yourself from now on? We're at a turning point with everything, I hope you realize. And once you see it, you can't unsee it ever again. In fact, more information has got out now because their failed attempt at the pandemic, which they thought that 85% of the world would be gone and there would be not enough people, but the slaves left over to serve them. I don't know if you've ever studied that religious philosophy that they have, but it exists. But it failed, and that failure, because we know there's a God, that failure caused people to wake up. And that waking up caused them to realize if they're lying about this, if they would go so far as to try to kill us, what would they do next? In fact, then we started learning that they're lying about everything, that they took over everything. School, history, complete lie. Medical systems, that's a lie. If you try to get a doctor's appointment somewhere, and when you do, the only thing they offer you is drugs that cause side effects where you never get off of them. Child vaccinations, oh, there's a good one. What, things go up by about 2,000%, the amount of harm, ADHD, different sicknesses for kids. You think these people care? You need to read some of their books. So we don't have to focus just on that. We have to focus on new values, new thinking for us, freedom for ourselves over the fake status, worrying about the Joneses. I guarantee you, because I wrote it in one of my courses about the world's wealthiest men, the 20 most had more money than some countries. They all committed suicide or ended up in prison or were bankrupt by the end of their lives. The big dream is a lie, and we got to quit serving that master. See, we need to choose freedom over the status, and we need to pick skills that serve us over credentials. I could care less about a medical doctor anymore. I find it a joke at this point in time when you go in and the only thing they can offer you for healing and tell you there is no other option is some kind of drug. And then you go home and find out, well, wow, for thousands of years they've been using this essential oil, and it actually is how they came up with the drug, was they just created an artificial duplicate of this essential oil, and the essential oil doesn't have any side effects. We also need to choose community. Community serving each other, talking to each other, and being connected over just text messages and social media groups, because they aren't serving us at all. They're very dead and empty feeling. In fact, all you get is a bunch of trolls and grifters on there, or bots now, making negative comments, serving no one. We're all over that. Facebook is dying. People are not joining groups there anymore of any significance. And we need to have low dependency on things. We're starting to wake up too with all this like power grid stuff. Like, why are we paying for power? It's free, right? It goes into your house and shoots back to the place, back and forth, right? Why are we paying for water? To have clean water to get to our house. And they don't want you to have a well. And if you do, they're poisoning the system. Some corporation or some big thing is making everything, even the streams up in the mountains, they're spraying the skies and filling them full of like thousands of times more aluminum, barium, strontium. The trees are dying. Who's doing the juice boxes? Are working on everything you can think of to make you a complete cattle. We need to focus on ownership and self-reliance over getting a mortgage on a home and paying this usury for 30. Do you know that, I'll be quick here. Do you know that when you apply for a mortgage, that the bank isn't loaning you the money? That when your birth certificate holds a value and it's traded on the stock market, might be worth $16 million. When you fill out a mortgage and fill out all of those papers, you sign a paper that allows the bank to withdraw your own money, right? Because you signed that paper, promissory note and stuff. They take your money and pay the person or the other bank, pay them your money out of your account, and then in turn, they charge you for that loan, of which they didn't loan the money for, at interest. So not only do you have to pay back your own money, but you have to pay interest on your own money. How do you like that? Study that a little bit. I think you're going to be quite upset when you learn what these juice box bankers have done. It's called usury. So we also need to learn emotional reframing at this point in time. Most people do not want absolutely lavish luxury. They don't want gold toilets to go pee in. You don't have to have that. They don't want 40-foot tall statues of themselves with water sprinkling out of the pee-pee when people pull up in order to oppress people. They want to be free. They want to have community. They want to have friends. They want to have people that love them more than they want that kind of stuff. Because like I said, I studied the 20 wealthiest people in the world and what happened to their lives. And it did not bring them satisfaction. Now, you might want to have money enough to take vacations and enjoy and not be a slave to things, but you're not seeking this lavish luxury lifestyle, this Donald Trump lifestyle. You don't have that kind of ego. But it's okay if you obtain it and use it for good, especially if you did it to fight this system. Oh, wouldn't that be a good idea? So the final message here is The system is time for it to collapse. This fake middle class dream that was created for us, the carrot in front of the cart, and we're the donkeys chasing after it. They did this on purpose. The middle class. The poor, Jesus said, you will have amongst you always. But the middle class dream of America was a manufactured lie to get you to chase and serve this oligarchy class, this billionaire corporate class, these corporations now. That's what it was designed to do. So you either walk away or you change your life to become the masters, the billionaires who begin to wipe the mat with these people. Because it's time that this mafia, it's time for it to be exposed. It's time for it to go away. We're tired of it. 2,000 years of history of examples of knowing that it exists in the slavery. Look at communists. If you look up communist Bolshevik Russia and look up the writings about the people who were there and who ran that program, who murdered 50 million Christians, when you look into that, find out who it was, you'll realize that what I'm saying about America, what happened to Germany, you'll realize I'm telling the truth and why you are going to have to change the way you think, revamp your life. And if you don't know how, I've got a way for you to do it. So we need to stop chasing the scripted life. And I hope this is becoming clarity for you. And build a life that actually matters to you. What matters to you? Have you ever taken the time to really sit down, write it out, and think about it? Because now's the time you can do it. The system changed a long time ago, and it's not your fault. The question is whether you're willing to admit it or not. And if you are, I'm going to offer you something, advanced psychological programming and planning. Have you ever watched a hypnotist have people up on the stage in less than 2 minutes? This guy, this business CEO, or this guy who's an insurance salesman, or a dad of two, or whatever, intelligent people, college degree level people, in 2 minutes, walking around the stage and clucking like a chicken, or believing they're the president of the United States. Have you ever seen that before? That's how fast your life can change if you program your subconscious to think something different about yourself. I have a 3-day challenge that I invented based off of 20 years of being a martial arts instructor, studying psychological programming, fight scenarios, and then also being a marketing and advertising major and studying psychological warfare. I wrote a book on the subject, revealing how the dark side is doing all of this to us, called Reason to Believe. Now, what I'm offering you, because most people think, I don't have time, but you've got an hour a day for 3 days. I have a program called Beyond Boundaries, 3-day challenge that will change your life forever. I'm going to leave a link in the comments in the description. And if you really want to learn how to change yourself in the very simplest form, anybody can do it, check it out. I'm Dan Collier, and I'll see you next time.